As a person with dyslexia who also probably has ADHD, the way that I spend the first 2 hours of my day sets the tone for everything else that's going to happen in the day. And that matters a lot, especially because I am an early morning person. My entire life, my brain and body have just been like, hey, we're going to get you up early. You don't even need to set an alarm. We'll be up somewhere between 5 and 5:30 without fail. Unless you just didn't sleep at all the night before because of the kids. Because that happens sometimes too. But mostly, I wake up early. And if I spend the first 2 hours of the day doing things like paperwork, email, administrative things, I can get a lot done, which makes sense because of my brain's freshness and the supplies of like dopamine and cortisol and all the other things that will help you focus and get things done that require executive functioning. But if I spend that time doing that, the whole rest of the day, if there's something that I need to focus on, it's going to be harder. My brain will literally feel shot. It feels like it's like, oh, you spent everything. We're just going to watch the show now. And it took me a painfully long amount of time and a painful number of times really to realize, oh, this is a pattern. In days where I do that, as much as it feels good to have gotten a lot done, the whole rest of the day is harder. And that's particularly problemsome on days where I would see like 7 or 8 clients in the day, because I need to pay attention for that. I need to be able to be present for hours at a time in order to effectively do that. In contrast though, when I get up, like when I wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I go for a long run, it makes it so the whole rest of the day is amazing. Like my brain is like, oh, not only did you wake up early, but you gave us all of these other good positive things. Like you gave us extra dopamine and all the other happy things that come from running. It's so good. It's such a difference. And that's why now, like, I plan out kind of how I'm going to function based on what's going on in the day. And I plan out what I'm going to do with those first 2 hours based on what I'm going to have to do for the rest of the day. And that's why figuring out how you function, like pay attention to the patterns, figure out if there's something that always happens, or you have certain days where you're always like, I feel like my brain just doesn't function by lunchtime on these days. Start to look for, well, what am I doing on those days? Am I doing things that are depleting my supplies of dopamine and other things that will help me focus early in the morning? Or am I guarding those for times later in the day where I might need them? I think that applies to everybody, but I would argue that's particularly important if you have something like dyslexia or ADHD or both, where it makes it so that certain things will be harder or will deplete your brain in a way that's more significant than they might if you didn't have those things. But arguably, this is true for everyone.